बच्चों, when we look around we find different species, okay, birds, butterflies, okay, right, amphibians, reptiles, and amongst these species also we find different varieties. So let's say fish. So amongst the fishes also you find so many different types of fishes. Amongst insects also you find so many different types of insects. Amongst the snakes also we find so many different types of snakes. Have we ever thought upon that how come these different varieties and diversities are created? What is the mechanism? What is the reason behind this variety? Yes, welcome back to the concept of heredity and evolution. In our previous video, we have finished with heredity, and today we are going to talk about evolution in detail. Now, to quickly begin with and to answer our questions, let us consider one example. Let us say, beta, these are red colored beetles. Okay, beetles are a variety of insects. Okay, so यहाँ कुछ insects मैंने draw किए हैं बेटा. Let's say I have drawn 9 insects over here. Now what happens is these beetles, when they reproduce, okay, so what we observe is 3 red colored beetles, 2 red colored beetles, 3 red colored beetles, and suddenly what I find in the next generation is 1 green colored beetle is produced. So from this population, in the first case what I observe is one of the beetle shows variation in the upcoming generation. Now when this population of beetle further reproduces, so I find that the coming population again has red colored beetles and the green colored beetle ka population increases. And when it further reproduces, I observe there are red colored beetles and the green colored beetle ka population further increases. Now comes a situation where you find only and only green colored beetles. ये सारे के सारे green color के insects बचे हैं, red color के insects नहीं रहे अब. Now what is the reason behind this? Here in this particular situation, what we needed to know is, let us say there are crows which are fond of eating only the red colored beetles. So these birds, that is crows, they are fond of eating red colored beetles. So what happens in the first situation is कि there was a population of beetles which was red color. ये insects थे जो लाल रंग के थे. फिर आने वाले पीढ़ी में उनमें बदलाव आया, एक ग्रीन कलर का बीटल प्रोड्यूस हुआ. उस ग्रीन कलर के बीटल की फायदे वाली बात ये थी क्योंकि उसका कलर ग्रीन था, इसीलिए वो लीफ में आसानी से ढक जाता था. It used to get camouflaged. It used to hide in the green background of the leaf. So the green body color was giving survival advantage to it. Now these crows, they could easily spot the red colored beetles. झाड़ी में से वो red color के insects को आसानी से देख पाते थे और इसलिए वो red color के beetles को पकड़ पकड़ के खाते थे और ये green वाला background में छुप जाया करता था. इसलिए green वाला beetle crows को नजर नहीं आता था. And then what we notice is the final outcome, that is this. कि there comes a time where there is only green colored beetle which is available and all the red colored beetles का population has declined. Okay, moving on. Now in the second case what happens is, let's say this red colored beetle का population reproduces further and beta it produces red colored beetles as usual and it produces one blue colored beetle. You see this beetle? So now this is the new variation. ये एक नया बदलाव आया. Okay. Then what happens is, in coming time the blue colored beetle reproduces and it increases its number. The red colored beetle also reproduces. But suddenly what happens is an accidental situation takes place where, let us say, an elephant stamps onto these bushes and the elephant destroys all the red colored beetle so that only blue colored beetles are available. So this section indicates the stamp of an elephant. अब हुआ ये कि इस वाले सेक्शन में जब सारे बीटल्स रिप्रोड्यूस कर रहे हैं तो आने वाले टाइम में सिर्फ ब्लू कलर के बीटल्स अवेलेबल है. So in the second situation what we see is second situation में an accidental incident takes place बेटा. When an elephant stamps, so let's say coincidentally the elephant destroys most of the red colored beetles, so that what is left over is only blue colored beetles which further reproduces and raises its own colony, it raises its own group. Moving on. Now let us consider the third case बेटा. In the third case what happens is the red colored beetle reproduces and it produces red colored beetle, and these beetles they are eating up the plant leaf and they are surviving. But now let us say the plant on which these beetles are surviving, that plant catches disease. So now the plant is diseased. So these beetles they don't get enough nourishment. That is why the red colored beetles, their size will shrink, they become underweight. ये देख अब मैं छोटा छोटा क्रॉस कर रहा है, यानी ये जो इंसेक्ट जो बड़ा बड़ा था ना, अब जिस प्लांट पर ये निर्भर था वो प्लांट में बीमारी है, इसलिए इंसेक्ट को उतना नरिशमेंट नहीं मिल रहा है जितना उसको आमतौर पर मिल रहा था. दैट इज वाई व्हाट वी सी इज कि अब जितने भी इंसेक्ट आ रहे हैं कुदरत में वो सारे इंसेक्ट्स का साइज काफी छोटा है, सब के सब है ना मैल नरिश्ड है, सब के सब अंडरवेट हैं, उनका वेट अप्रोप्रिएट नहीं है क्योंकि जिस प्लांट पर वो निर्भर है वो प्लांट बीमार है. पर आने वाले टाइम में लेट्स से जनरेशन आफ्टर जनरेशन, फर्स्ट जनरेशन, सेकंड जनरेशन, थर्ड जनरेशन, फोर्थ जनरेशन, लेट्स से मेनी इयर्स आफ्टर द प्लांट डिजीज गेट्स करेक्टेड बाय नेचर इटसेल्फ and the plant becomes fit and fine, and then what we see is again the red beetle with its original shape and size comes back. So what do we understand from these three different situations? Okay, this was our case number 1, that is situation number 1, this is beta situation number 2, and this is situation number 3. Now here what we learn is starting में एक ही green color का beetle था जो आगे चल के पूरा ग्रीन बन गया. फिर यहाँ स्टार्टिंग में एक ही ब्लू कलर का बेटा which later on gave rise to only blue colored beetles. So here what we learn is, what we observe is something which was a rare variation, after many years it became a common characteristic. You see in this population you see green is a rare variation, यानी इन सब में से ग्रीन वाला सिर्फ एक ही है, बट कुछ सालों के बाद आफ्टर मेनी जनरेशन तेरे को सिर्फ ग्रीन वाला ही दिख रहा है, उल्टा रेड वाला अब नहीं दिख रहा है. सो एक जमाने में जो कैरेक्टर बहुत ही रेयर था, आने वाले जमाने में वो कैरेक्टर बहुत ही ज्यादा कॉमन हो गया है. अच्छा, नेक्स्ट व्हाट वी सी इज द फ्रीक्वेंसी ऑफ genes have changed, and that is the reason why the frequency of traits, but in this chapter traits ka meaning you take it as character, so that is why what we observe is the frequency of character have also been changed. So यहाँ पे देख बेटा, ओके 9 में से सिर्फ एक ही ग्रीन कलर का था, सो हियर द फ्रीक्वेंसी वाज 1 आउट ऑफ 9 एंड हियर द फ्रीक्वेंसी इज 9 आउट ऑफ 9. 9 के 9 ग्रीन कलर के हो गए, राइट. सेम हियर द फ्रीक्वेंसी वाज 1 आउट ऑफ 9 बेटा, एंड हियर द फ्रीक्वेंसी इज 9 आउट ऑफ 9. So frequency of genes have changed, that is the reason why the frequency of character has also changed. Okay, जीन्स के बदलने की वजह से कैरेक्टर भी बदल रहा है, ये बात याद रखो बच्चों. नेक्स्ट, मूविंग ऑन. व्हाट डू यू लर्न फ्रॉम द फर्स्ट केस? इन द फर्स्ट सिचुएशन व्हाट डू वी ऑब्जर्व बेटा? Okay, why the green color का population started increasing and the red color का population started decreasing? It was because the red was eaten up by crows, right, beta? So first case में what we learn is कि the green color has evolved because of survival adaptation. So the reason for the green to become more common was survival adaptation, क्योंकि ग्रीन कलर उसको सरवाइव करने के लिए हेल्प कर रहा था. इसीलिए जब उसने अडेप्ट किया, जब उसने अपने बॉडी कैरेक्टर को चेंज किया, सो वो अडेप्टेशन उसके सर्वाइवल में काम आने लगा. सो जैसे ही ये वेरिएशन आया, ये उसको सर्वाइवल में काम आने लगा. दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई इन द अपकमिंग जनरेशन यू फाइंड ओनली ग्रीन कलर्ड बीटल्स. नेक्स्ट, व्हाट डू यू ऑब्जर्व फ्रॉम द सेकंड केस? सेकंड केस में why blue colored beetle became more common? That was because of natural selection. ये याद रखो बच्चों. Natural selection means, see, this accident took place, it was all because of nature. Okay, since the population of these beetles started increasing, okay, all of a sudden the elephant will stamp, okay, the bushes, and that's the reason why most of the red color got destroyed. Okay, so this selection was done by nature. That means which variety will survive and which variety has to die and has to leave this planet. This selection is done by nature. That's why it is called as natural selection. The second case also very clearly shows the idea of genetic drift. Genetic drift indicates the development of diversity without any adaptation. यानी यहाँ पे सेकंड केस में तुम क्या देख रहे हो कि ब्लू कलर का वेराइटी जो था, ओके, वो कोई खास अडेप्टेशन नहीं था, अनलाइक ग्रीन कलर वेराइटी. ग्रीन कलर का वेराइटी इज कंसिडर्ड एज एन अडेप्टेशन, एज अ मॉडिफिकेशन, क्योंकि वो उसको सर्वाइवल में हेल्प कर रहा था. और यहाँ पे ये जो अडेप्टेशन है, ओके, राइट, द ब्लू कलर, इट इज नॉट ए स्पेसिफिक चेंज विच इज हेल्पिंग इन सर्वाइवल, but still it gave rise to new diversity, new variety. Blue one developed. Why? Because of this accidental stamping of an elephant which was controlled by nature itself. Okay, so that's why the second case is the case of natural selection. Moving on. Now what we will talk about is acquired and inherited traits. Acquired and inherited traits. बेटा traits का मतलब होता है character. Okay. Acquired means something that you learn after birth. And inherited means inborn. तो देखो ना, हमारी जिंदगी में ऐसे बहुत सारे कैरेक्टर्स होते हैं जो जन्म से हमारे बॉडी में होते हैं, और कुछ कैरेक्टर्स ऐसे होते हैं जो पैदा होने के बाद हम सीखते हैं. ओके, जो पैदा होने के बाद सीखते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड एज एक्वायर्ड कैरेक्टर. लेट्स से सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल मी एज अ बायोलॉजी प्रोफेसर, ओके, राइट, सो आई लव बायोलॉजी एंड आई हैव गॉट साउंड नॉलेज ऑफ बायोलॉजी, सो दैट इज माय एक्वायर्ड कैरेक्टर. ओके, बट आई हैव स्ट्रेट हेयर जस्ट लाइक माय फादर, दैट इज माय इनबॉर्न कैरेक्टर व्हिच आई हैव इनहेरिटेड फ्रॉम माय फादर. ओके, नाउ हियर द पॉइंट सेज दैट आवर रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन्स produces cells which are called as germ cells. Germ cells are nothing but they are reproductive cells. So reproductive organs for humans, if we are talking, the male reproductive organ is a testis and the female reproductive organ is ovary. Okay, so let us say testis and ovary. Now beta testis produces the male reproductive cell which is called as a sperm, and ovary produces the female reproductive cell which is called as ovum. Now inside these germ cells there is specific DNA, and this DNA contains genes, and beta these genes are responsible for determining our traits. Traits का meaning is character. यानी कैसा है ना कि हमारे रिप्रोडक्टिव सेल्स के अंदर जो डीएनए है उसके अंदर जो जीन्स है वो जीन्स डिसाइड करते हैं कि क्या ट्रेट और कैरेक्टर डेवलप होगा. जैसे मी एज अ मेल, ओके, रिप्रोडक्टिव ऑर्गन बीइंग टेस्टिस, टेस्टिस में से माय रिप्रोडक्टिव सेल विल बी स्पर्म, और मेरे स्पर्म के अंदर जो डीएनए है वो डीएनए के अंदर बहुत सारे जीन्स होंगे. उसमें से एक जीन होगा फॉर स्ट्रेट हेयर, दूसरा जीन होगा लेट्स से फॉर ब्लैक कलर हेयर, तीसरा जीन होगा फॉर माय स्किन कॉम्प्लेक्शन. सो दैट डिपिक्ट्स दैट कि मेरे आने वाले बच्चे में ये सारे कैरेक्टर एक्सप्रेस होंगे. क्यों? क्योंकि मेरे स्पर्म के डीएनए के अंदर ये सारे जीन्स हैं. Okay, now the point says that if we observe the third case, observe this third case. Third case में क्या हुआ था? The plant was diseased. Since the plant was diseased, that is why all these beetles were underweight. So I can say that the beetles were underweight because of starvation, beta. So they were underweight because of starvation. They could not feed. They could not eat properly, because the diseased plant, okay, the leaf was not well defined. It was not properly formed. Now, since these beetles were underweight because of starvation, okay, right? Now, being underweight, this character does not affect the DNA of these beetles. So, in the third case, the DNA which contains the genes was not affected, and since the DNA which contains the genes was not affected, that is the reason why the character of underweight, that is underweight character, was not inherited to the next generation. Now you see here, okay. So after this, as soon as the disease became appropriate, the plant disease got corrected, the underweight character did not got inherited. In fact, the upcoming generation had normal shape sized bodies, beta. Okay, right? So here what we understand is it was just the environmental trouble, the plant being diseased, the environment forced them to become underweight. And this environmental change did not cause any change in their DNA and genes. Since the DNA and genes was not affected, that is why this character was not transmitted to the next generation. So, from here what we should learn is anything that affects the DNA and the genes, any change, if it affects the DNA and the genes, so it will get inherited to the next generation. And that becomes an example of evolution. Because evolution is what? Evolution is inherited changes over generations after generations. Okay, so anything which affects DNA and genes, हर वो फैक्टर जिसकी वजह से डीएनए अगर अफेक्ट हो गया ना और डीएनए में से कोई जीन गड़बड़ा गया या जीन में चेंजेस आया ना, तो आने वाले बच्चे में वो चेंजेस रिफ्लेक्ट होगा. पर अगर डीएनए और जीन्स में कोई चेंजेस नहीं आया है, ओके राइट, तो आने वाले बच्चे में वो चेंजेस नहीं आएगा. दैट इज द रीजन व्हाई वी विल कंसीडर टू एग्जांपल इन ऑर्डर टू अंडरस्टैंड दिस कॉन्सेप्ट. एग्जांपल नंबर 1, life experience of humans is not inherited from one generation to another generation. I'll give you an example. Life experience, let's say Sachin Tendulkar. Sachin Tendulkar, the god of cricket, he is an amazing batsman. Okay, now he became an amazing batsman because of his hard work, because of his practice. He developed this skill. So this is an acquired character. Okay, so he has his life experience of being a very good cricketer, right? But this experience that he got, this experience do not cause any change in his DNA or genes. That is the reason why it is not a compulsion that in the upcoming generation उसका बच्चा भी उतना ही कमाल का क्रिकेट खेलेगा जितना वो खेला करता. You getting that point? So life experience is not inherited. So what he experienced in his life, those experiences are not affecting the DNA or the genes. so they will not get transmitted from one generation to another generation. However, DNA and genes contains other characters like curly hair, so the child might have curly hair like Sachin Tendulkar, right? So remember that beta. Moving on, let's take another example. Suppose for example beta, let's say mice. Now if the tail of the mice is cut, ओके अगर ये माइस की टेल को मैं कट कर देता हूं, सो डू यू थिंक दैट कि आने वाले जनरेशन में, आने वाली पीढ़ी में ऑल ऑफ इट्स प्रोजेनी, प्रोजेनी मीन्स बच्चुआ, सो डू यू थिंक उसके आने वाले सारे के सारे बच्चों भी टेललेस होंगे? द आंसर टू दिस इज नो. अगर एक चूहे की मैं पूंछ काट देता हूँ और वो चूहा रिप्रोड्यूस करता है, तो क्या इसका ये मतलब है कि आने वाले उसके सारे जितने बच्चे होंगे उनकी भी टेल नहीं होगी? द आंसर इज नो. लेट्स टेक अनदर एग्जांपल विद ह्यूमंस. सपोज फॉर एग्जांपल ए ह्यूमन ही लूजेस हिज आर्म इन एन एक्सीडेंट, उसका हाथ कट जाता है एक एक्सीडेंट में, और जब वो रिप्रोड्यूस करेगा तो तुमको लगता है कि उसका बच्चा भी बिना हाथ के पैदा होगा? नो, बिकॉज हाथ कट जाना, टेल कट जाना, लाइफ में सब कुछ एक्सपीरियंस करना, ये सब क्या है? ये एक्वायर्ड कैरेक्टर है, और ये एक्वायर्ड कैरेक्टर्स हमारे डीएनए को अफेक्ट नहीं करते. तो अगर एक इंसान का हाथ कट जाता है ना, तो उसके स्पर्म में, उसके डीएनए के अंदर नॉर्मल हाथ बनाने के जीन्स हैं. सो हाथ कट जाने की वजह से डीएनए अफेक्ट नहीं होता है, और डीएनए और जीन्स अफेक्ट नहीं होते हैं, इसलिए आने वाला बच्चू नॉर्मल पैदा होगा. बट अगर कोई ऐसा चेंज है जो डीएनए को ही डिस्ट्रॉय कर दे या जीन्स को ही डिस्ट्रॉय कर दे, then that particular change will get inherited in the upcoming generation. Remember that beta. चलो moving on. Now we will have a very short section based on scientist beta. The first scientist we are considering is Charles Robert Darwin. Okay. Charles Robert Darwin, he went on a sea voyage. He was a naturalist beta. Naturalist मतलब he was expert in observing nature. Okay, he went on a sea voyage. That means he went on a very long journey. उसके ship का नाम था HMS Beagle. So HMS Beagle was the name of his ship. And he went on South American regions, and he visited islands which are called as Galapagos Islands. देख, चार्ल्स रॉबर्ट डार्विन है ना, ओके, शिप से, HMS बीगल नाम की शिप से वॉयज पे गया था साउथ अमेरिकन गैलापागोस आइलैंड विजिट करने, और वहां सारे तरह तरह के बर्ड्स और ऑर्गेनिजम्स को देखने के बाद ही गेव थियरी ऑफ एवोल्यूशन व्हिच इज कॉल्ड एज थियरी ऑफ नेचुरल सिलेक्शन. सो दिस माइट कम अप इन योर एग्जाम बेटा. थियरी ऑफ नेचुरल सिलेक्शन वाज गिवन बाय हूम? सो इट वाज गिवन बाय चार्ल्स रॉबर्ट डार्विन. ये याद रखो. अच्छा, ही हैज आल्सो एक्सप्लेन्ड द रोल ऑफ अर्थवॉर्म in improving the soil fertility. Okay, so remember this can come up as a fill-ups or as objectives to you. Moving on, next. Then there is another scientist called as J.B.S. Haldane. He was British, but later on he became citizen of India. J.B.S. Haldane, he gave the theory of origin of life on Earth. J.B.S. Haldane described that how first life form, how first living cell was created in water. And that the first living cell was created by nature itself, utilizing all the chemical constituents of nature. कुदरत में जो सारे chemical constituents है, कार्बन, हाइड्रोजन, नाइट्रोजन, ओके, ये सारे constituents को assemble करके natural conditions जो change हो रहे थे, ओके, वो natural conditions ने ही change हो के पहले cell को assemble किया. Okay, so origin of life on earth, origin of the first life on earth, let's be very specific, origin of first life on earth was described by J.B.S. Haldane in his theory of chemical evolution. And in his theory he says that the first cell on this planet was formed from chemical constituents. Moving on. Then next, lastly what we are supposed to know is his finding was further confirmed and supported by two scientists named as Urey and Miller. Remember the date also, beta. J.B.S. Haldane gave his theory in the year 1929. Urey and Miller, they talked about their theory and experiments in the year 1953. Very important. Darwin, he was 22 years old when he went on sea voyage, and his voyage was for 5 years. So remember these numerical values, beta. Okay. So moving on, Urey and Miller, what they did is they did an experiment in order to confirm the finding of J.B.S. Haldane's theory. Okay, his theory of chemical evolution of life. In this experimental setup, Urey and Miller, they had taken methane, they had taken ammonia, and they had taken hydrogen sulfide, that is H2S. Okay. ये केमिकल कंपाउंड्स को वो लोग ने एक्सपेरिमेंट में यूज किया, एंड दे हैड टेकन टंगस्टन इलेक्ट्रोड्स व्हिच प्रोड्यूसेस हाई वोल्टेज व्हिच इज कॉल्ड एज अ स्पार्क डिस्चार्ज. एंड व्हाट ही फाउंड इज कि these compounds, because of high voltage, they were broken down, and after cooling these compounds, they combined again in different combinations so as to produce amino acids, proteins, carbohydrates, which are nothing but they are the constituents of the cell. And then they said that कि yes, chemical constituents यानी इन chemical से ही पहला cell बना है. So Haldane जो बोल रहा था वो सही है. So in their finding what they observed was 15% of the carbon which is present in methane. This is the formula for methane, ना बेटा, CH4. 15% of the carbon which is present in methane got converted into amino acids, and these amino acids are present in our cell. So कहीं न कहीं ये बात सही है कि वर्ल्ड का सबसे पहला लिविंग सेल, ओके, राइट, अल्टीमेटली सारे के सारे केमिकल कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट्स से ही बना है और उसको नेचर ने ही बनाया है. ओके, फाइन. वेल स्टूडेंट्स, यू टेक स्क्रीनशॉट ऑफ दिस. Done? Okay, so that's all for this particular lecture. Okay, continue to learn, continue to grow. Read bio, bleed bio, yo-yo bio. Thank you much.